All right, let's start. Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Carvel Community Meeting. And today's date is 12th June 2024. If you're watching this as a recording, we encourage you to come and join us live. We meet every second and fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. It's an opportunity to listen into what the maintainers are working on, provide live feedback, ask questions, or get live help with any of the tools. For those that are here today, if you have anything you wish to discuss with the community, please add that to the discussions topic section at the end of the agenda below. If you aren't able to attend live and would like to reach out to us with questions or feedback, you can also find us in the Kubernetes Slack workspace at #Carvel channel, and can email us, find us on GitHub and on X at Carvel_dev. When you attend these meetings, we ask that you please read and abide by a code of conduct, which is linked out here in the agenda. For those in attendance, please add your name and the organization you represent to the attendees list. All right, that's done. Next, on to any announcements. Do we have any announcements today? No releases done?
Not since the last meeting.
I guess we have the patches coming up, but yeah, that's fine. Then anything onto the project roadmap? I believe this requires some update. I think the proposal is merged and we need to have people work on the dependency management. Any thoughts on this? Praveen, Joe?
Yeah, the proposal is merged. We'll try to think there were some changes that we tried out before, but didn't get to work much on it. We can try to prioritize it again and start from where we left earlier.
I think like the first thing that we have to do here, it is for us to I'd like us to try this a little bit different. What do I mean by that? So we need to create a bunch of stories that represent what this work looks like. And I think we can try out, when creating these stories, try to use the milestone feature on GitHub just to group stuff. So basically, I'm not like saying like we're gonna do something completely different. I'm just saying that like get away, or like for the folks that are not actively developing, to understand like what are the milestones and when can they expect a particular, or not, or when can they expect, at which point they can expect. My God, English, I'm sorry. So what I meant to say,
No, here I think we are all first language is not English, so it's okay.
I think it's too much coffee. That's what I feel like, and I'm just like sprinting ahead of my thoughts are sprinting ahead in my mouth. Okay, so rolling back. My idea for this feature was try something new and try to use milestones for folks that are not actively developing the feature to understand at which point they can use which part of like dependency management, because dependency management is going to be a big feature and it's going to take some cycles to get everything through. So my idea was for us to try to create like a couple of milestones to divide this work and then create stories associated with them so that it could help folks that want to use dependency management or want to help develop to understand where each story fits in this workflow. So like that would be my idea. Unfortunately, I didn't have like a lot of time to set that up. But I think it could be like a nice experience. So if somebody is interested in doing that, go for it. And if they want like some pointers, I have some like rough idea of what the stories could look like, and what like these milestones could look like as well. So if you want to give it a shot, just let me know and I can give you like a rough draft of what my thoughts are. So that's more or less like my idea for like the dependency management. And I know that internally, like in Broadcom, we already have some of this dependency management. Like we started doing something just like prototyping to try to understand like what it is. So it's possible that when we start doing the stories, there's going to be like a chunk of code that is going to show out of nowhere that does some of this functionality already. So just be aware of that. And I think at least that those are all my thoughts for the dependency management part of it.
Thanks, Joe. Anything on the release package repository at Star? I believe there was quite a lot of work which was done on this, and it's still under review.
So the proposal is merged. So we did that like a couple of weeks back. Ashish did make the PR for image package, but there's like some things that I asked him for change, and I haven't heard back from him like some weeks back. Unfortunately, because of like another issue, we had to do like a change that we're gonna talk afterwards. Like we extracted the last piece of API that we were missing on image package for image package to become like a full-fledged library. And that is going to impact his PR. So Ashish, if you're seeing this, reach out to me or to Praveen if you need some help or if you need something from us. But I think like his PR as it sits right now, I think it has a little bit too much code, and I think that there might be some code in GGCR that we can leverage that will lower the amount of code that we have in our side. So that's where it is right now. So yeah.
Is it copy API?
So, yeah, like basically like we extracted some code that he changed to the API side, so we'll have to copy some of these changes. So it's not going to be like a one-to-one rebase or a easy rebase from what currently is in development.
All right. Who wants to talk about the backlog?
I'll go with the kapp-controller ones. So right now we are like one of our goals is to have same core module for both the controller and CLI, and one of the blockers or um, sort of blocker is to bump controller runtime and client core in kapp-controller itself. So this is something I've started working on. So I'll try to bump controller runtime first, and then on the second thing, that is having same core module for both controller and CLI.
Thanks, Praveen. Image package.
So as I was saying, like we merged this week, I think it was yesterday, or the day before, a change on image package that extracted the last piece of functionality that exists in image package into the library package. So now you're able to use a copy as an API instead of using like a Cobra command stuff that we had before. So like that was like the last piece. And I think we are in a point that we have like full functionality of image package in as part of the library. So if you want to use image package as a library, you can just use everything from that package. So that's like a big milestone for us. There was like one, like we'll talk when we release it. There was like a breaking change that we kind of decided to do. There was like an interface that changed. I'm hoping that that doesn't break a lot of people. We just added a new function to it because it made more sense to reuse the same interface and to create like a specific interface just for a copy. But when it comes out, let us know if that's like very impactful for you, and we can discuss like what is the best way to go for it. Because like I was thinking about creating a new interface and deprecating the old one, but I thought it was like this API is quite in its infancy yet. So I hope that this breaking change is not like very painful, especially if you're using all the machinery that already exists in Matchpack. And if you're doing that, then I don't think you'll have any problem because like the interfaces are just like constrained parts of the structs that we use. So in the end, it shouldn't break anything. So that's the work that has happened for image package.
All right. Thanks, Joe. KCTRL. Praveen?
Yeah, this is something Samik is currently working on. So right now, when we are using K-control to uh, release packages, like there is an issue when someone tries to read values from download APIs. So Samik is trying to work on a fix for that. He couldn't join today, so I don't have much updates.
Sure. Cool. Thanks a lot.
Do you know what we decided to do there? Because like the problem with that we were facing with the downward API was that because K-control is executing kapp-controller code, right? It is trying to reach out to the cluster to get the values for downward API when it's building the package. So like that's the problem that we're facing, and there's no Kubernetes cluster for you to do that. So kind of fails, right? Do we have any idea what is like what are you thinking about there, like to solve this or not?
We did have a discussion some time back, but I think we didn't reach a conclusion yet. Um, so we still need to do some brainstorming there.
All right. Now on to the discussion topics. Praveen?
Yeah, this is something Joe and I were discussing some time back. Right now, the Carvel bot that we have, the email ID for it is basically carvel@vmware.com. And we need to have a different email ID that should be probably from something from CNCF domain or yeah, most CNCF. So we need to reach out to CNCF and see if we can get an email ID for Carvelbot, and also for authentication. I think right now Joao is the one who has access to make the Carvel bot email and password. So if possible, we need to look for a solution where all of us can have, like the maintainers, all the maintainers can have access to the Carvel bot. Joe, you had mentioned something that I don't remember. Was it one password?
Yeah, so we should reach out to CNCF to see if we can get access. I do believe that CNCF provides 1Password accounts or whatever it is for projects. And that's going to be like a twofold. First of all, I think we do have like some passwords and things that are associated with the LastPass instance that was VMware's, and is like twofold, right? Like that worked okay, and while we had only like maintainers from Broadcom/VMware, but now that it isn't, like we need a place to store like common secrets. The other part is that Broadcom is decommissioning VMware's LastPass, so we will lose access to it. So we need a place to store these passwords. So that's one. And the second part is that I am the two-factor authentication owner of the Carvel bot. So it's in the authenticator in my phone. And I do believe that 1Password itself has a mechanism to do 2FA stuff. So maybe that's something that we want to explore as well, so that when we need for some reason to log into GitHub with the Carvel, the Carvel bot, like the new Carvel bot, that we like all the maintainers can have access to it to do like any kind of change that is needed there. But we should look into that possibility. So I think that's that. Is there like anything else? As of right now, I don't think there's anything else that we. Oh, there's another thing. Like, so we use Algolia to do the search. So like this is like unrelated to Carvelbot, but that's something that I've been struggling with because for some reason I lost access to Algolia because it was associated with my VMware user ID, and for some reason I lost access to it. But we use Algolia to index the website so we can have search. So that search that you have like on the website is powered by Algolia, and we used to have access to it via our VMware login, but we no longer have that. So I think we should reach out to CNCF as well to try to understand if they do have any kind of like Algolia password system, or like how can we do this with CNCF, or if they have like a different indexing service that they can provide that we can use to index the Carvel website and migrate to that, or have our accounts created under like Algolia with like some sort of like the maintainers login or something like that, so we can access it. There's lately on the last like 3 weeks, I guess, I've seen like every 3 days, every 4 days, there's errors happening while indexing the website. But because I do not have access to it to enter like to the console, I cannot see what errors are happening. Is that going to cause major disruption? I don't think so, but the website's not going to be, the search is not going to be updated as often as we want.
So, Joao, I can forward you a link how to reset your password for VMware, and that probably using that you can log into Algolia. So that will solve probably the immediate problem. But for long term, we should probably look at what alternative CNCF provides.
That's not a problem. I've been removed from the LDAP group that has access to Algolia for some reason. I don't know why, but I opened like that. That's like an internal issue. Like I opened the
Okay.
tickets, they are working on it. But that's what happened. So yeah, we should reach out to CNCF to see like if we can fix it. Like as I was saying, this is not causing major disruption because we are not like releasing so frequently that we need to have search like so frequently being run, even though we run it every day. But yeah, like it could cause us like 1 day of delay on having like indexing done. So that's why I'm not like very worried, and things have been like rolling on that side.
Okay, so one thing quickly I want to bring in is that Netlify has sent out some mail saying that the certificates need to be rotated, I think before 22nd of June. I will look into it. Just letting you all know.
I also received an email like that, but the URL was pretty awkward. Like it was not like Carvel dev, it was like something else. Do you receive that like an email from? Yeah, there you go. So I received an email from Netlify saying that the curryfence.io TLS certificate is going to expire. Is that the same email that you received?
I do not remember which website. Let me just quickly check.
So like I'm gonna paste in this is like the email that I got from Netlify. It's like I don't know. Is this like where we bought this TLS certificate or something? Like I don't understand. But nevertheless, like I'm not sure if this is like this is something that we need to talk to CNCF about or what.
Yeah, same here. Curryfence.io.
Yeah.
Expires on June 21st. Okay, let me try and figure this out again. All right.
Yeah, like our certificate expires on August 14, according to Chrome. So I'm not like when I saw this email, it was a little bit strange.
Mine is June 21st. So let's compare notes and whether it is
No. Like the email says June 21st. Yes. I went to the website and I clicked on the certificate, and the certificate says that it expires in August.
Great. This needs some digging into. Okay. Anybody knows anything about the certificates? No, I'm guessing. So moving on, Thomas.
So I saw that Go Releaser, the project we use to configure the builds in probably all the projects in the Carvel GitHub is using Go Releaser. We're using some version 1. Version 2 doesn't seem to be that big of a change. They mostly removed all the deprecated things. So unless we were using deprecated functionality, it shouldn't be that painful to upgrade. But I wanted to bring up if it's something we want to look into. I might create some issues on GitHub on each project to keep track of this if you think that's something we want to do.
I think there we were using some deprecated stuff, but when we bumped to 145 or something, like the last bump we did for Go Releaser, I think we kind of fixed that. Like whatever we were using that was deprecated. So in some sense, like I think like personally, since this is like a personal thing, I really like us to get us like on the top of like everything, like get the dependencies as like new as possible. So personally, I would be okay with that, doing that.
Nice. Yeah, that's also related to the next point. So a while ago, I worked on that RFC regarding signatures. Now all projects have signatures. But in the original issue, I also mentioned SBOMs and self-attestation. And yeah, it was long due for me to complete the second RFC about that. So just saying it's in progress. So I expect to submit a pull request about that within the next week for review. I have already a proof of concept, but I did it on Go Releaser version 1. So I might also give it a try on Go Releaser version 2 and see if anything changes with regards to the SBOM integration. Yeah,
That sounds great. Thank you, Thomas.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Anything else? All right. Thank you all for joining
Ashish.
today's Carvel.
Ashish is here.
Hey, Ashish.
Hello, hello everyone.
How are you?
Hello.
I'm
Did you hear
great.
us?
Yeah, I just joined a few minutes ago, like 10, 15.
Yeah. Did you hear us talking about you?
No. I'll see the recording then.
No, it's fine. I can give you the spiel again. So a couple of things. So for the PR that you did for image package, we merged and you changed the copy API, so that's going to cause some like rebasing issues. And another thing that that I would like to talk to you is as well I do believe, like I think I said it on the comment of the PR, but that you didn't reply to that. I do believe that some of the functionality that was added to create tars and stuff like that is already present in GDCR. So I think we could just leverage that instead of like writing our own. Did you look into that?
Yes, I looked the PR and I made some changes which you suggested.
I was talking like on the body, like on the message itself. I
Yeah,
wrote something like especially about the tar. Like you created like a new struct and stuff to create tars, the tar balls. And I do believe that GGCR already has a way for you to save a folder as a tar ball or as a tar image. And I was curious to understand like if that was if you looked into that or if you had to create a new thing because GGCR doesn't provide enough functionality there.
as far as I remember, what you're saying is GGCR has a way of storing the files as a tar. I think I have used the GGCR function only. So, yeah.
Okay, like we can take this offline if you want,
I think
and I can
we
take a
get
look at that.
Mhm.
And I just give us a quick jump to the PR. Yeah, I think did you
Okay, I'll take a look into it again today. And if I don't find something, I'll reply. And if I do, I'll change. And then maybe we can pair up again on a short meet and I can explain what I have done. I think that would be better.
I was talking about like the tar reader portion of it. Not sure if like if that was like, I remember like seeing that some of the tar stuff might be, we could just use the image tar from GDCR. I'm not 100% sure that I can give it also like another read, and I think it was the tar image. Yeah, when we do like, so the operations to create a tar from files and the operation from reading the tar itself, I do believe that GCR has those functionalities. I don't know if we need to do like the gzipping and stuff like that that we have there. That was my main point.
Oh, I understand the point.
Okay.
I think I have used GCR function only for when we want to save the image as a file system. Great, I'll take a look into it today. That would be better.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
And
So
sorry,
thank you.
and if you need some help, sorry, Ren. If you need some help with the rebase, like, because like we extracted the copy API. So now some of the, like, I don't think you'll be able to just rebase from develop. So you might have to do some copying of like some of the things that you added into the API, into the V1 folder, to the V1 package. So if you need some help with that, just reach out to us and we can look into it. Sounds good?
Okay, Asha.
Cool. All right. I promise, Renu, I will not interrupt you again. I'm so sorry.
Okay, anybody else wants to interrupt Joao? Then, thank you all for joining today's Carvel community meeting. If you're watching from home, we'd love you to join us live. We'll see you next time. Take care. Thank you.